Welcome to Heaven on Earth, a sacred portal to visualizing, meditating, and co-creating our highest joys that usher in the Golden Age of Aquarius. I'm your host, Athena StarSeed. Hi, welcome to the show, Heaven on Earth. I'm Athena StarSeed, and I have my gorgeous co-host, Emmy Award-winning set designer, Kim Hix. Kim, aloha.
From the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's a beautiful paradise day here, broadcasting paradise to everyone.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to start with our opening invocation, and then we'll just jump right into the show. So I'd like everyone that's tuning in, first of all, I want to thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a beautiful time. I want to start with the great invocation. And this is how we're really visualizing heaven on earth, and that's what the show is about. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light return to earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. Let the Christ consciousness return to earth. In the center where the will of God is known, let the center guide the little wills of men, the center which the masters know and serve, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. And may the plan of love, light, and power restore heaven to earth. Om, om, om.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. How was your week, Kim?
Busy, much work, a lot of work, but it's still beautiful. Hawaii is just an amazing place to be. The experience of the ocean every day, every single day is wonderful. And being in a marine environment on these tiny islands is a kind of breathtaking experience. Just the preciousness of life is clearly here, even though we have a large city. It's a microcosm of our beautiful earth, and it's a microcosm of heaven. So both of which we want to experience in a more dynamic way than we do.
Fantastic. I wanted to introduce the tarot card of the show, and we are on number 8. So, Kim, we're talking about the numerology of 8 and also the strength card of the divine feminine guiding Leo the lion, the tiger's head, gently with her divine feminine, beautiful yin energy. So why don't you break down this card for us, strength in the feminine?
What card are we on?
We are on Strength, which is number 8 in the tarot with the infinity and the divine feminine holding the Leo lion's head. I'll show everybody right here how she's...
Okay, you'll have to run with this because I'm not prepared
Okay,
on this.
so for this, we came right off of
the...
we came right off of the Chariot card, and the Chariot was after the Lovers. The Lovers were the duality facing the angel, which was taking the heavenly perspective of the divine relationship. And then they took that energy and went to the Chariot, which was focused, balance, yin and yang, light and dark, which leads us to number 8. And number 8, we have the divine feminine with an infinity symbol over her head and a wreath on her crown, and she's gently guiding the Leo lion's teeth and head with her wisdom and with her compassion. And this is really about the feminine energy being able to use her feminine guiles to inspire people to come forward instead of forcing with power and aggression.
That itself is the reversal of the current paradigm right there. Through the great power of attraction, the feminine energy can create anything and always does. And this is a much more powerful energy than the power of action. We've been stuck in the action-Jackson modality. But this idea of bringing the Leo in, of course, really supports manifestation from the ethereal source of the feminine. And, of course, the 8s are always stability. 8s are broken down into the 4s and the 2s, and so they represent the harmonic lattice that brings us into a stable structure.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we just came off of this juicy, amazing full moon, blood moon, blue moon, eclipse moon energy And we actually had an event at the Sound Palace Temple, which is my temple home. And we did a lot of ceremony, Kim, with the elements of the earth. We walked the medicine wheel in gratitude and wrote our prayers for the angel Bella Grace. Then we went to a fire ceremony and burned whatever we lacked, any fears, any judgment, any aggression, any negativity, any old relationships, we burned and offered to the fire. And then we laid them down under the stars and had them breathe deeply. And we were able to wash their bodies with this beautiful sound bath with Julian Forrest and myself and another beautiful being named Alec Johnson. And we have Julian in studio. He'll be on the next segment. But it was really a powerful moon with that eclipse, was like a reset button.
It's wow. Yes. It was even here. It was quite a stir here. I do recall. I wasn't able to participate in it, but I had a friend that was out for it, and we had the clouds were dancing all around, but there were these glimpses of the moon, and it's full eclipse. And the beauty of it was that the radiance is beyond the shadow, and that's the message of the times, too. The radiant source itself is beyond and hidden beyond the shadows. So it's really beautiful, transformative time.
Well, it's really interesting, too, because this moon that we just had on Wednesday night, this is going to set the course for the next 6 months, all the way until July. And to really feel the energy of that harvest, the full moon is that harvesting energy of everything that we are. And it was a Leo moon, which is so interesting because here's our tarot card, the Leo. And basically Leo is the magical child, and taking that magical child from within our hearts and offering that magical child's gifts to the world. So everybody who's listening, if you didn't participate in the full moon, the energy's still here. And we really want to ask you to take your talents and your joys and your bliss fields and put them into an offering so that you can serve the world in a greater way on and in your purpose.
The highest function we have now is to honor the magic in the children and to nurture them, give them nurturance, and let them give us nurturance. But this will be a new paradigm for raising children, raising them for their gifts, for their unique talents, because they all hold great solutions to all the problems on the planet, and unexpected art forms will come through them, all of which will contribute to the heaven on earth that we seek.
You know, I had last night, Reverence and I were watching the movie Leap. I don't know, have you seen that, Kim?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and it's about this little orphan girl who wants to be a dancer. So she kind of escapes the orphanage and goes to Paris, and she sneaks into this conservatory, for ballet, and all the messages were follow your heart and follow your dreams. And no matter what anybody tells you, you have a purpose on the planet, and you have to stay true and honor that purpose so that you can stay focused, because the rest of it is all details, and you can get lost in the details.
You certainly can. The labyrinth of the matrix is designed to divert your attention from your own cares and concerns, which emanate broadly and are not.
Did we lose him?
Athena? Hello, Kim?
Oh, here we go. We Is Kim, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue. We have somebody on hold for just a second. Just you can hold him.
Okay.
So you were saying that child and how we're raising our children.
The fundamental shift in our paradigm will be toward the raising of all our children with the expectation that they bring great gifts, unique, and we cannot exactly nurture them for it directly. We must allow them to receive it. They are beyond our consciousness level. Therefore, we shouldn't try to fit them into the society we think they're going to live in. They're going to live in another one because they're creating it well above and beyond this one. And that we can nurture for. We can help them achieve that, and not by limiting them, but by expanding them. It's a very important paradigm shift. This is the greatest paradigm shift of all time for our culture, because it's been all about action and power, control, civilization, and all of that. And now comes the great feminine energy of nurturance to the top. Very important.
You know, Kim, I have a reverence in a Waldorf school, and the school is based on play.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
There's no, I mean, the metaphor of school as a playground is the only one worth operating in. I mean, the thrill I had at the Exploratorium was that the Exploratorium was a consciousness playground of artists and scientists in a co-collaborative, conscious, creative, interactive way. And that's what the Waldorf schools basically are, I mean, at a fundamental level. But it's also the way we should run our planet, as a playground. We let the machinery take care of the business and the work, and let's get down to the business of play in the highest levels and forms of creation. I think reverence is going to be automatically in that lineage, of course, through the Waldorf and through your nurturing. The way you've been raising her exposures are phenomenal. But we don't know yet what her gifts are going to be, but it's going to be a real pleasure to watch her come online as a phenomenal human being, because she already is.
You know, when I was pregnant with her and I was meditating, we talked about this a little bit. I had inner instruction and guidance from the masters of the Eck Temple on the ancient science of soul travel with the Hugh. And basically they told me, you do not own your children in the sense of in possession. You are stewarding these small beings, and you are to expose them to a plethora of different modalities, and she will be living with different masters, and then she'll be able to explore herself in these environments. And I was very fortunate to actually live with you, Kim, for that 4 months, and she got to play in all of your Exploratorium games. Let's talk about that for a minute, all the different wonderful things you had in the living room.
Well, it was a wonderful adventure, and I'll never forget playing with reverence with the big earth ball that we had, that exercise ball, which I painted as an earth. And it's this constant reminder of the fragility and the exquisite beauty of our planet at the same time. And reverence loved to play with that. And she was also the dirt girl. She had more fun in the backyard and the simple dirt things. But we also played with all the dynamic models and all the geometry I could expose her to. It was really fun because Rev's a really bright-eyed, absorptive being. She just inhales adventure and excitement. It was really a great time we had there, Athena. It really was.
So Kim had in his living room, he had mirror models, he had mathematical three-dimensional models, he had lasers that he would have reverence shoot on different textures, the ceiling, the walls, other art, the bushes, the sky. And so he was a very kinesthetic, tactile, magical wizard teacher. And for a 3-year-old, it was... I'll tell you, that was definitely heaven. It was a playground, and not just for reverence, but for adults. We would go there every Friday night to the Green Fire Temple, the Temple of the Heart, and we got to play like little children.
That was a great adventure, and out of it came such creative ideas and such wonderful concepts and wonderful relationships. Yeah, to experience the infinity box and shoot laser beams into the infinity box, and you can see the whole array of star magic geometry, and you can see all of the periodic elements in there too. What fun.
We will be right back after these commercial messages, and we actually have 2 guests on the show, William Henry, and we have Julian Forrest. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar, the romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical room of the moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
Hi, everyone. This is Fred Dreyer with some breaking news. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Highway 395 is my latest movie and is now available for all of my friends and listeners to own. Highway 395 is a classic modern-day Western thriller. Action, romance, and the frontier spirit. It's all there in my new movie, Highway 395. Now, here's the best part. You can own this movie tonight by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. Head to my website now at freddryer.co and check out the trailer. Then order the movie for a great night of entertainment. And while you're at freddryer.co, check out the memorabilia and my career highlights. But don't forget to order my new action thriller movie, Highway 395. So head over to freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co.
From traditional Hawaiian weddings and vow renewals to your own unique ceremony, find out why Ka'anapali Weddings is the perfect place to say, I do. Create the memory that will last a lifetime at the place you and your family know and love, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Imagine yourself and your loved one just steps away from world-famous Ka'anapali Beach in one of many wedding venues to choose from, including oceanside lawns, tropical gardens, or indoor banquet rooms. With your choice of catering, bar, floral, and musical options, you can make your special day customized just for you. Their wedding specialist will help you plan your dream wedding today. For more information, visit ka'anapaliweddings.com or call 661-0011. Ka'anapali Weddings, the perfect place to say, I do.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain.
This is Athena StarSeed, and this is the show Heaven on Earth, where we actually meditate, visualize, and create the world we want to live in. Heaven on Earth, ushered through our own heart chakras. And I have my beautiful, gorgeous co-host, Kim Hix, all the way from Hawaii. Welcome back, Kim Hix.
Aloha all.
Kim, we have Julian Forrest in studio, and we also have William Henry on the phone. William, are you here?
Yes, Athena. How are you?
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. We finally got a hold of you. I'm happy.
Thank you for having me on the program this morning. And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Wonderful. Okay, so Kim, William Henry is going to talk a little bit about sacred ascension, and I also have Julian Forrest. I think, William, you know Julian, don't you? Don't you guys know each other?
We actually played together at Cosmic Awakening in Sedona on the same stage, at least for that weekend, and I loved William's presentation. It was one of my favorite ones for the entire weekend, and I performed a concert with Thunderbeat Devara and Stands with Bear and Shakina Rose. We all played, and so I'm not sure if William saw that or not, but we were definitely around each other for several days and got to be at the same event in Sedona, which was wonderful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, William, please tell us what you're working on and how you have been working with Ascension.
Well, in broad strokes, I've been a researcher of Ascension, which is a state of being that many people are aspiring towards. I started researching it around 2002 and continued to pull on that golden thread, so to speak. Ended up writing a number of books that are around the Ascension theme. Books are available at Amazon.com. The Secret of Scion, the Lost Secrets of Perfection, the book about the Watchers. I've been doing numerous workshops on the subject, and I kind of zeroed in on a specialty, if you will, an area that is maybe overlooked by many people in the Ascension area. We have a lot of people doing breathing techniques, a lot of people doing various yoga, meditation approaches. But I kept seeing a common thread running through many of the ancient traditions concerning Ascension, and that is that the power of sacred art is a huge factor in awakening our Ascension state of being. And so I started piecing together all these examples of ascended beings from the ancient Egyptian, the Tibetan, the early Christian, and other traditions, and have put together just sort of a gallery, if you will, in my presentations of some of what I think people would agree is the most powerful ascension art ever created. And they're actually designed to be open-eye meditations that awaken our consciousness, and even through the process of what we today call quantum entanglement, enable us to exist in the same state of being, the same frequency as the avatars and avataras.
Wow. Yeah. Like that. That's wonderful. Great description. I love the idea I'd love to see this collection of images. I recognize the power of imagery as way above and beyond the power of word in many ways. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and so as a focus for a yantra, for a meditating visual mantra, these devices can be very important. Just one freeze frame moment of a vision of sacred geometry can be a crystallized direction for life, as they often are. I'd love to tell us more about your symbolism, the understanding and perceptions of the symbolism of the ancients regarding what's relevant to us today.
Well, people are looking for the next step. They want to know, where am I going with this? I mean, technically, when we're talking about ascension, we're not actually going anywhere. We're transforming where we are. I mean, that is a huge part, anyway, of the ancient teaching about ascension, is that you ultimately are seeking to return to perhaps a source place, but part of the reason we're here is on a mission to elevate this place to the same frequency or vibration as the source where we came from. And so people need a kind of a target, if you will, to say, well, we all need to know when we're going to be successful. I mean, there's a wonderful teacher here in Nashville where I live named Dave Ramsey. He's helped hundreds of millions of people become debt-free. And they know when they're debt-free because they don't have any debt anymore, and they have cash in the bank. When people get on the ascension path, they want to know, well, how do I know when I'm ascending? What will be different in my life then? What will be happening in my life then that is presently not happening? And the images help to guide us into that state of mind where we can recognize that next step for ourselves.
Okay, we will be right back after these messages. Thank you. We got William Henry here, and we have Julian Forrest in studio. And our next segment is going to be 17 minutes, so we'll have tons of time to talk. Thank you so much. This is Athena StarSeed. We'll be right back.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Enjoy Tiki Live, the best cable alternative choice today, with hundreds of premium live TV programming, including ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Disney, AMC, Bravo, XF, OWN, and CRN Talk. Plus no contracts and low month-to-month service. Tiki Live, servicing North America, including the Caribbean. To get started, visit tikilive.com to order hundreds of channels, including CRN Talk, at a fraction of what you're paying today. Visit tikilive.com. That's TIKILIVE.com.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed, and this is a show called Heaven on Earth. And we're so happy to have you back. We're talking about ascension, we're talking about mathematics, we're talking about sacred geometry and art. And I have my beautiful co-host Kim Hix all the way from Hawaii. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
All right, so we were talking to William Henry, and you were kind of discussing some of the imagery. And how do you know when you're ascended?
Uh-huh.
Hello, William?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, suddenly I just heard blank space.
I was asking you, how do you know when you're ascended? That's where we left off after right before our commercial break.
Yeah, how do you know when you're ascended? That's a great question. And part of it, the way you can answer that is, again, by looking into the ancient record and recognizing that this process of ascension that many people are following today has a very long timeline. You can go back at least 5,000 years ago very comfortably. Some people take it back much further, all the way to Atlantis and pre-flood civilizations, because you certainly have reference to that in texts that describe the pre-flood world of humans like Enoch actually ascending. And over you find a commonality of descriptions that when a human has ascended, their body transforms. It transforms into its primordial essence. There's flashing, there's flames, there's a lot of light that's involved, a lot of love that's involved, and ultimately the fully ascended human, or the perfected human, the human who is now whole, holy, and complete, according to these traditions, exists in a higher frequency domain as a light being. And descriptions in art and also the literature says these are beings that have rainbow-colored bodies. They're luminous. They're humanoid. They radiate rainbow-colored light. And this isn't just Jesus. This isn't just Padmasambhava. This isn't just Enoch. This isn't just Osiris. Isn't just Isis, Ishtara. There are numerous examples of humans who have completed this ascension and ultimately transformed their bodies into pure light and pure love.
And Julian, how do you feel that music affects people's bodies to turn them into light?
Well, I would start with divine intention and realization of the topics that we're all discussing here. You know, when you carry that vibration with you because you've been to those places, you're creating a bridge between the celestial realizations of that down to the earth plane and back and forth. So there's a communication between heaven and earth, so to speak, or the celestial worlds and the denser worlds. And that divine bridge is, you know, the essence of magic. Magic is at the transcendental higher pure level, which, you know, relates to ascension, based on this divine harmony, and it appears in architecture and art pieces and sacred geometry and ritual all through the ages. It's that harmonic structure behind everything that the light worlds are actually still operating on, but the divine celestial music is much higher than anything on the earth. And so you can bring essences of it down here, and once people sense it or feel it or in that field, they do transform to ascension.
Now, would you say that Beethoven or Bach, were they channeling some of this type of music?
Bach especially. I love Beethoven, but Bach was even at a higher level. Also Vivaldi and Scarlatti very much went to those planes. If you listen to the piano etudes by Scarlatti and the Concerto in D minor, BWV 1052 by Bach, there's specific places where they're obviously exactly in tune with the celestial planes.
Yummy stuff. I love the harmonic concept of the relationship between heaven and earth, and that it's a vast harmonic lattice, in fact, that when we get a little bit of a harmonic resonance going, we can amplify that. It's just a very exciting aspect because it does give us the potential to use it as a bridge between heaven and earth, going both directions, as you just laid out. It's ascension for us moving up, but it's also bringing heaven down, which, of course, is all within us, which is one of the beauties here. Gentlemen, this is great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question for you. When you have people in your lectures, do you have them stare at the images with music or without, and for how long?
Are you asking me, Athena?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not just a matter of just staring. It's also it's a conscious realization that your focus on the image unites you with the image. And so we're kind of in the workshops. We'll take a step back, appreciate the nature of our reality, especially the quantum nature of our reality. That everything's brought to life in our imagination. Everything has a wave-particle duality, but it's actually the same. They're both at the same time, and all our potentials are within. We have antimatter and matter, both within our bodies at the same time. And that ultimately, through the use of the imagination, we can contemplate, meditate, and then it's really more a matter of, instead of staring, it's more reflecting on the image, reflecting on the energy of the guru or the avatar that is manifesting through the image, and then reflecting that vibration through yourself into the world around you.
Wow, that's really powerful.
I love that, yeah.
Go ahead, Kim.
That's a beautiful mirroring concept. And the fact that you establish both the wave-particle duality as being constantly existing within us allows us to do all this, to become reflective of other aspects and projective of it. It's also beautiful because being present is also not being present. It's being reflective in the universe. It's a great way to share heaven on earth to a large extent through these kind of meditations. I'd love to see us set up a playground, an experimental playground with a lot of your images and have various groups experiment with them and see what we could do collectively. It would be very interesting. I'm always fascinated with our playground concepts of how to advance spirituality and reality on a coharmonic plane. together.
Yeah, it's so much fun to just sit in a room and look at images on a big screen, and people go through all kinds of emotions with them. They certainly see it, they absolutely feel it, and that's what transforms them. And now we have some really cool new neuroscience that's coming in as well, telling us exactly the physiological or consciousness aspect of this, how it actually works mechanically, and how we might be able to amplify the use of these images.
Yeah, that is the exciting thing right now. We are getting the mathematics and the physics of the quantum world down enough to begin to explain it even more coherently than we thought. Mysticism was always good enough for me, but I wanted to see manifestation, of course. And it's better if we do have a more clear understanding of how the quantum world exists as even below the relativistic world. I find it amazing because apparently the universe is constantly fluctuating between that which is and that which isn't, and is therefore the harmonics of, the grand harmonic of music itself, sound and silence.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
With the images, a painting, what are we dealing with but wave-particle duality? You've got dots of paint that form waves that come off as vibrations that leap off the canvas and transform.
The same principle with the sound harmonics are really the same principles as the visual harmonics. It's all a mystical process. But the coherency of pattern, when we recognize the pattern, is absolutely thrilling to us. Nothing is simpler than the most basic beat of a drum or the most basic, beautiful contrast of hues on any painting. Just a simple orange-blue contrast or a purple-yellow contrast just set up these harmonic vibrations that are really fascinating and pull us in. And we begin to see, hey, this is how the universe actually functions. How beautiful.
True.
Love to do a playground with you guys.
Sure.
Athena, we should do a whole temple evening with this.
This is wonderful.
This kind of play, it just would be a great adventure in my mind, and get us going on this whole idea of expanding and collecting experiences for all of us to share.
William, when you're coming out to Los Angeles next weekend for the Conscious Life Expo, will you be showing some of these images? And if so, can you describe one or two of them?
Yes, I will, and thank you for mentioning that. I'll be at the Conscious Life Expo beginning Friday night when I'll be doing a talk on artificial intelligence versus angelic intelligence. And then on Monday, I'm doing a post-conference workshop actually titled The Sacred Art of Ascension. And in those workshops, this one will be a 2.5-hour version of a full weekend workshop that I give. So it'll have, maybe I'll probably show easily 100 examples of this sacred art. And again, as I mentioned earlier, over and over again, you see themes that develop of imagery focused on what the Tibetans refer to as the rainbow light body, and this idea that our true nature is a humanoid being, luminous, with a rainbow-like light emanating from us. And so a lot of the images that I work with actually feature the rainbow light body or variations of it. And so in the workshop, I'll be, of course, showing a number of those and then linking them with the actual teachings and practices that go along with the images.
Do you incorporate any mantra, any holy words that help with the imagery?
Well, I do. Of course, Om Mani Padme Hum is the core of that, because in the Tibetan belief, just seeing the written form of Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra, has the same effect or perhaps a greater effect than intoning it. So I collected a number of images of Tibetan art featuring Om Mani Padme Hum and saying, look here, all you have to do is just look at the image and you're having the same effect as the chant, although in my opinion, combining the chant with the visual can only take you into an exponential capability with it.
Well, this is, of course, the laws of harmonics, because sound is a lower octave level than light. And so, but they are truly harmonics. You just don't realize that it's moving up and down the great piano scale of the electromagnetic universe. Mm-hmm. Touch is yet again a lower frequency and so powerful and strong that it feels like it's solid. It's an astounding level. So I do believe that there's probably some very interesting explorations of the harmonic lattice through both the visual meditation in conjunction with an oral meditation at the same time.
Yep, absolutely. And I just I've sort of stayed in my lane and loved reaching out with people that are far more knowledgeable than I am, such as yourself, because that just makes it just all the more wonderful to share.
Hardly, my friend. I'm just stumbling along on this delightful road.
Well, the great thing about Kim is, he was like a mathematician, and he did an exploratorium with math and models, and that helped people's creativity blossom. And similar to that, Julian was going to talk to us a little bit about Pythagoras and how those harmonics affect the DNA to open up higher levels of the DNA strand.
Thank you, Athena. A couple of things I'd like to say is when we watched, the William Henry presentation, we were all mesmerized because he was so immersed in those images and what they meant and the vibration of them that we were all just in a beautiful trance the whole time. So I just want to share that with you. And I spoke with Kim briefly today, and just within a few sentences, I already knew that he knew some of the harmonic secrets of geometry for certain, just by what he said and how he said it. So I just would like to share that. So I'm very honored by the company I'm in, and I've been working with Athena on music lately, and when she sings her angelic voice, it's transportive to those exact places we're all referring to. So this is an amazing meeting of people right here and right now. And
she really is in the ethereal realm. She is absolutely angelic, and some of her songs are absolute divine inspiration. She's been a big inspiration to me along that line. I wanted to mention something which I think is so important that we're all realizing these days, but the laws of harmonics in the universe really are the laws of attraction, and they're one and the same, and it's rhythmic entrainment and the harmonic aspect of universe that creates resonance all over the place, which is why we understand if we get together collectively, we can create a rhythmic entrainment of new consciousness for everybody. Julian, your work is astounding with the harmonics and the games you play with the up and down the scales and patterns that you work with. I've got to say, I was really thrilled to see your video this morning, and then have a chat with you. Tell us a little more about that, because I'm fascinated with where you go with your harmonics exploration.
Sure, thank you so much, Kim. And here's where I would start, and it's a very profound part of my life that in the best way just stayed with me through the course of my life. When I was very young and through my life, long before I was a musician, I actually had celestial plane experiences. I'd be wafted over into the higher planes, and I'd hear the heavenly music. And I knew it was just as real or more real for sure than anything. And I didn't have anyone to tell me that. I went there, and like all through my life, it come back to me, and I would see the angelic super celestial beings. They did not look humanoid in this case. They were like trails of light in sacred geometry, and the heavenly music would move to their color and their movement. It was like laser light, but condensed at rapid vibrations. And there's all these different planes that I would go into. And then later in life, it just keep coming back to me, and I started training myself, and I was just completely enthralled by the reality of this heavenly music. And I knew I had to create it somehow and bring it down to the earth. And so it got me involved in very deep discipline. I would listen to a single string over and over again for an hour just so I could start to hear the harmonics unfold. And I just kept getting more and more disciplined, studied classical music theory, and trained my ear. So what I want to say, because I know we only have a few seconds coming before we have a little break here, is notes are illusions. You think you're hearing a note, what you're hearing is an infinite cascade of harmonics, which is telling you exactly what the beautiful hidden goddess of harmony is doing inside the universe. Once you can hear the harmonics, they go to infinity. You first learn by hearing the undertones unfold, which are very simple, 1/1, 1/2, 1/3, 1/4. But the infinite song is actually the name of God in every single note.
And beautifully stated. Wow.
This is Athena StarSeed, and this is a show called Heaven on Earth. We'll be right back after these messages.
experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Minetti. Go to LarryMinetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryMinetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Wake up today without pain. Wake up every day feeling great. Avi Natural's new turmeric curcumin, used daily, makes life better, helps relieve those achy joints, gives you the freedom to be as active as you want. Avi Naturals helps you wake up every day feeling great. Go online to avinaturals.com, use promo code CRN and get 25% off your order today. That's spelled AVIE naturals.com, promo code CRN for 25% off. avinaturals.com, CRN.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed, and this is a show called Heaven on Earth. And I have my gorgeous co-host Kim Hix all the way from Hawaii. I have William Henry on the phone, and I have Julian Forrest in studio. And we were talking with Julian about the sequence of harmonics and how that affects our body and our mind.
Yes, one of the most important things that I like to relate to about that is that Pythagoras is, secretly one of the most influential people ever. The three laws of planetary motion by Kepler is because he's looking for the music of the spheres of Pythagoras. People don't really realize that, but he was an ardent Pythagorean, and so was Galileo, and so was Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton actually gives credit for gravity to Pythagoras and certain things if you find the right quotes. And but behind all of that is Pythagoras, however you want to pronounce it, was an Egyptian initiate. And he was in Egypt for 22 years being initiated. And so once you reassemble Pythagorean knowledge, you realize that it's in all the Egyptian artwork, the sacred canon. It's a sacred canon inside all of those bas-reliefs, all the artwork, the hieroglyphics, and everything is actually a harmonic structure. And so John Anthony West, for example, found harmonic diagrams on the back of Egyptian artwork in some cases. And the geometry was corresponding to the harmonics. So this is all very, very real. So when you get to the deeper level of it, and you come to the Pythagorean school, and one of the things that you find is when you have the priestesses and the oracles of Delphi and this whole culture of the ancient world, which was at such a higher level, male and female students were both equally welcome in the Pythagorean schools. And so it was not exclusive to males at all. They had a perfect mingling of the sacred studies, and the sound healing, as we know it, is really an influence from the ancient Pythagoreans and the ancient Egyptians. So Pythagoreanism is Egyptianism. And so if you really want to understand ancient Egypt and these images that William Henry has so astutely shown us, get into the harmonic structure of Pythagoras, and it'll lead you the way to the secret sacerdotal knowledge of the Egyptian priesthoods.
So, William, I would love to have you, this is our last 4-minute segment, just kind of give us maybe one or two things that we could possibly do, a take home, to get ourselves in the vibration of ascension.
Well, first begin to visualize your future self. You can go online to Google image and just look up Padmasambhava, rainbow light body. These are some very nice images, high quality ones that are immediately available, and you can begin putting them onto your desktop and spend a couple minutes each day just connecting with the image and allowing it to kind of superimpose onto your energy field.
Beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. And Julian, what music, is there a piece of music that you have that people could listen to that would help them?
Yeah, I would recommend highly just going to YouTube and put in Julian Forrest Celestial Visions, or look up the album Arcanum on Spirited Records. You can even listen to it for free if you just type in Julian Forrest Arcanum, 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 which is the sum total of harmonic knowledge, is why I chose that word Arcanum, and those are great ones.
And
love it, Julian. Love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so Kim, any closing words?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for the conversation today. I'm very excited about it. It seems like we're all getting together, and there's a great brotherhood and sisterhood of consciousness that wants to collectively find its way. And harmonics are one of the key, and the visual imagery is one of the other great keys. These are great keys to wisdom and understanding and knowledge. And we can change the world with this. And we will.
This is Athena StarSeed, bringing heaven to earth. Thank you, William Henry. I really love your work. I'll see you at the Conscious Life Expo. Thank you, Julian Forrest. I love working with you. And Kim, I'm in love with you. I adore you, and I will see you next week. Thank you, everyone.
Hallelujah.
And thank you to all of our friends on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Please share the show if you like it. You can also watch us on YouTube, Heaven on Earth. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, brilliant day. Stay tuned.
CRN Digital